Productions movie reviews. Furthering on the John Carpenter series as I promised, I'm going to do them out of chronological order, mainly because it's just the way I'm going to watch them, no particular reason. Watched another good one the other night and thought I would just share a little bit about it, tell you what I like about the film. John Carpenter films, folks, I never get tired of them. They're just some of my favorite movies. They have this great atmosphere. You can always tell where John Carpenter's put his little touch to the movie. You can always feel it. It's like a full ride of John Carpenter-ness. Yeah, that was kind of weird. But anyways, let's get on with the show here. Watched another good one the other night, folks. One of my personal favorites, probably pound for pound, one of the most watched John Carpenter films that I just never get tired of. I just watch it over and over and over again. And probably in the top 3 most favorite John Carpenter films of mine. It's none other than Escape from New York, with Kurt Russell in the lead role as Snake Plissken. Escape from New York is an interesting movie. It's not a horror film. A lot of people think John Carpenter, he's the horror guy. He just makes a bunch of horror films. Well, hate to disappoint, folks. This movie is actually sort of like a science fiction, futuristic action thriller. That's the best way to explain it. Escape from New York not only stars Kurt Russell in the lead role as Snake Plissken, it also stars a lot of Hollywood favorites that we've seen in a lot of other John Carpenter movies and movies on their own. Stars such as Lee Van Cleef, Ernest Borgnine, Donald Pleasance, Isaac Hayes, Adrienne Barbeau, and Harry Dean Stanton. It's an ensemble cast, folks, and it's a very character-rich piece. In fact, there's not too many characters in this movie that I just absolutely don't like. Just about every person that's in this movie, they have a great character to play. Just to talk about the story a little bit of Escape from New York. The story really builds on the premise of, okay, here we are, we're in the future, and guess what? All the hardened criminals of the United States are going to be stuck in New York. We're going to bar off New York, Manhattan Island, and basically make it the maximum security prison for the whole entire country. Where things get interesting is the President of the United States, who's on his way to a peace summit, basically crash lands in this gigantic prison for the whole entire country inside New York. Recently apprehended criminal himself, Snake Plissken, who's actually a war hero and has all these special skills that they're looking for at the last minute, gets employed by the United States Police Force, which is basically the Army of the United States, to go in and rescue the president from the criminals that are holding him captive. Next, I'd like to say a few words about the DVD representation that's been put out on the market recently. I used to have a bare bones copy of the Escape from New York, and I'm here to tell you folks, beware of this copy. It's just a bare bones copy with just a trailer on it. It did have a decent widescreen presentation, but I don't think it had really good sound on it, except none other than the 2-disc version that I have here, right here. It's loaded with features, folks, and one of the most notable features that this disc representation has right here on DVD is the 15 minutes that were missing from the film. A lot of internet buzz you'll probably find when you do research on Escape from New York. You'll find that the whole opening of the movie was cut out by the director at the last minute to basically truncate it and save time, to get it down to a better running time. On this DVD here, in the special features, you'll finally get to see the whole bank robbery scene where Snake Plissken actually gets captured before he goes to the island of New York, the maximum security prison. Going over some of the features of the 2-disc special edition of Escape from New York, it has a high-definition film transfer, 5:1 surround sound audio, which is excellent. Be sure to tune out your sound and rock this one. Let this one rock the house. It's got some great sound. It has the main, like I said before, the main original opening, the bank robbery sequence. It has a Return to Escape from New York featurette behind the scenes, interviews with the stars of the movie, 2 feature-length commentaries, one of which is just a hoot. If you ever get a chance to sit down and listen to some of the commentaries that the actor Kurt Russell and John Carpenter have put together, you can tell these guys are just great old buddies, and they're just really enjoying what they did on the film, and they really enjoy talking about it, and they really like the film that they created. So give that one a listen if you don't listen to any of them. Listen to the John Carpenter and Kurt Russell audio commentary. It's great. We also have linear notes by John Carpenter, and it has a making of John Carpenter's Escape from New York photo gallery in it as well, which is very informative because it gives you a little more behind the scenes of what happened, you know, how they shot certain scenes, things of that nature. This 2-disc set actually has a exclusive comic book. I think it's The Adventures of Snake Plissken or something of that nature. It's pretty cool. If you're a comic book geek, you'll really like it. I absolutely love comics, so it was really cool for me to get that option in this disc set. The movie was filmed in 1981. It's an hour and 39-minute ride. It's presented in a 2:3:5:1 aspect ratio anamorphic widescreen, except none other than the 2-disc version of Escape from New York. It's getting a little hard to find, folks, so if you can find it at your local video store and you like John Carpenter movies, pick this one up if all possible. I guess what I can say, just a few personal notes about Escape from New York, it's just a great experience. I mean, I never get tired of the movie. It's got that great John Carpenter music score behind it. This music score really ties in with the scenes that it takes place. Like there's an opening glider scene where Snake Plissken infiltrates silently into the prison. It really gives you a feeling like you're just gliding along with him in the air. Also, there's a car chase scene towards the end of the movie, and it really gets you amped up, and you're really wanting them to finally make it out of the prison. And it just, I don't know, I can never say enough about John Carpenter's music scores. I hope he always makes those music scores with his movies because, I don't know, it really sets the mood and tone of the experience. Well, folks, I guess I can say in closing about Escape from New York, it's a fun ride. You gotta see it. On a scale from 1 to 5 stars, I have to give it at least a solid 4 stars, folks. Just one of my personal favorites. Never get tired of it. It's the dynamic duo of Kurt Russell and John Carpenter. Gotta get it, folks. If you don't have it at home, I highly recommend you go and rent it at the local video store. This is B. West Jr. from Endurance Productions, signing off. There'll be more John Carpenter reviews to come. Take care now. Good night.